My name is Dean. I work out sometimes. I also do YouTube videos. Yeah, I see you looking. How you doing? Today is a day that I never thought would come. Gosh, this thing is heavy. Let me set it down. Whew. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, I hold my picture that I took in 2011 of me and one of the guys that created the best franchise known to man, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right, I'm gonna interview Kevin Eastman. Welcome back to Talking with Dean. My guest needs no introduction at this time, but I'm gonna give it to him anyway. He has made stories such as Gobbledygook, Fugitoid, and he is one half of the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Childhood, in case you didn't see it in the background, he is the one, the only, the Turtle God, Kevin Eastman.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Eastman, how you doing?
Doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Been having anxiety over this, but it's cool. You know.
Hey, there's nothing to be anxious over. It's a perfect Thursday to hang out and talk turtles with y'all, my friend.
Oh yeah.
No worries. Let's get right into it.
All right, Mr. Eastman. In turtle film, you have been a garbage man. You have been an ice cream kitty. In Mutant Mayhem, you're a good human. How does that feel?
I loved every one of them. You know, from the garbage man that we never got to really see, his little black shape in the background, which was really funny. Especially after telling everybody, my whole family, you know, that hey, I'm going to be in the movie. Ice Cream Kitty, of course, was a wonderful experience. I felt that I loved it. The 2012 series when they said, "Hey, we want you to do be a character. We'll come up with a cool good guy or bad guy." And then I saw the development from Ice Cream Kitty, and much like George Clooney in South Park, being the dog, I said, "I want to be Ice Cream Kitty." Loved it, and then was so thrilled when Jeff Rowe and Seth and Evan selected me to be the good human in that story. It was such a great moment and such a great story. I really loved the movie and was quite honored and thrilled to be part of it.
You love the movie. I still gotta watch the movie because I saw the story and I was like, if you haven't seen the new movie Mutant Mayhem and you don't want to be spoiled, then I suggest you skip to the time ahead. Otherwise, you've just been spoiled. Bebop and Rocksteady are friends at the end with the turtles? What?
You got to see it. It's great. Very clever. It covered all the great heart and soul moments, and I like that one of the fantastic ideas that came out of the series was the ooze linking both, making that connection between the original turtles. No spoilers here, I hope, for fans, but
right.
But making that connection between all the mutants in the turtle universe, I thought was very clever, very well done.
Yeah. And Mr. Eastman, you don't know me very well, but I ask the hard-hitting questions. Why was TCRI changed to TGRI?
It was a trademark issue. There was actually a
trademark.
Company
Wow.
Yeah, somebody actually had because we had TCRI in the beginning, and it was changed, I think, initially for Turtles Movie 2.
Yeah.
I think there was because we came up with TCRI, which was Techno Cosmic Research Institute, and that in the comics, and then but yeah, we found out that somebody actually had the trademark and basically put out a cease and desist. You can't use TCRI, so it changed it T.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? We never thought it was gonna be a thing, so we just made up a name and didn't know it would.
Right. Well, there's a rumor. There's a rumor on the net that in the second movie there was supposed to be some Utrons in there. There was supposed to be a scene right there. Can you confirm or deny? Rumor. Yeah.
Well, there was a lot had changed, and we worked with Todd Langdon, who wrote the script for the first movie, which was great, and we loved it. Todd came on board to write the second one, and there were a lot of early drafts that expanded it, and they felt like adding that additional layer of the Utroms, which linked the ooze to outer space.
Yeah.
Was something that would be difficult to introduce and not pay off initially. So they said, well, let's save this for the third movie. So that was it was definitely discussed, but it was never made it into an official draft of the script. They want to keep it more grounded, and then said we'll go that route later. And then that led to then we ended up falling in love with the time travel idea, which became the third movie.
Yeah. And The Last Ronin was announced last month that it's getting a video game. Now, I've been seeing some other stuff about The Last Ronin. Can you confirm or deny or say that The Last Ronin is getting a movie?
Not a movie, no movie at this point,
but
video game for sure. In fact, I thought it was very clever and very wise for both, for Paramount and Nickelodeon, who control all things Turtles. They own the Turtles, of course. But instead of, they spent 2 years developing the Mutant Mayhem movie, which again we loved, and it was the same time that Last Ronin was released, and we were all kind of taken by surprise and blown away at how popular it became. And so there was a lot of discussion towards the end of the series and then after about, hey, let's do something with this. Is it do we do it as an animated movie for streaming direct, for specifically for that older audience? We don't want to have it conflict with, what we've already put in, taken so far down the road with the kind of for all ages version. And ultimately they said, we felt that a video game would be the best place where you could take all that edge and intensity and all that stuff that was in the comic and bring it to life, and then even go a bit further deeper into the weeds, so to speak, and making it for that older audience that they can be a lot more edgier. So I thought it was a great idea, and the development I've seen on the game it looks like designs and things have walked right out of the comic book. It's fully detailed, it's fully immersed in that world, and the best part is that they're able to expand on it as well. So
very nice. And how in The Last Ronin we get different art styles from you and the different artists? Will it be kind of like that as well?
This is going to be straight up fully, they might do a flashback, which would be, something that done to as like a mini, one of those interstitials, a little mini movies that might reflect something in the flashback. But the actual gameplay is going to be full on, all in universe Last Ronin. So.
Gotcha. Okay, and you said that Nickelodeon has all the Turtles. They control the Turtles. And with you selling your share of the Turtles, how are you able to create stories like The Last Ronin and, do these covers for IDW? And, I'm just wondering,
it's a great system because, when I sold my rights to Pete then sold to Viacom, which is Paramount, parent company of Paramount and Nickelodeon. And then when then Pete sort of stepped into retirement, and as they started developing the new comics, the new animated show, and even into the live action movie, they brought me in as a consultant to say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Because we would still like to, not drift too far, or not, create something, take the Turtles in directions that the fans would hate. So when we were working with them, I work mainly on the comic books, but I work on the other stuff as well, as case by case when they want to bring me in. But with the comics, they said, we want you to design the comic series at IDW to be something more specifically for the original fans, the original Mirage fans. So the stories were for an older audience. They were edgier, more intense, and pretty epic in scale. And so based on the success of that, when I pitched them, I would do covers and I submit them and they approve them. And the same with the stories that I work with Tom and some of the other guys. And with Last Ronin, I put together a formal pitch with Tom because it's adapted from an idea that Pete and I came up with back in '87. So we adapted that. But it was a full on, here's the story, here's what we want to do. And we want to make it edgy and go all the way there and then some. And they said, they've been a wonderful partner and support all that stuff. So yeah, it's great. They're great to work with.
Gotcha. Mr. Eastman, I just want to know, do you remember this day?
Absolutely.
You remember that day?
Years ago. Yeah.
That's 2011.
Man, it's only a short 12, 13, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I had to call my mom after that. It was crazy to me, dude.
That's the fun stuff. And, that's what we love about, these days of having the opportunity to, Courtney and I still do, 12 to 15 shows, sometimes more per year. It's getting out and seeing the fans, thanking them for the, love and support and doing, interviews.
Yeah,
like
but
this.
I came to your shop.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, I came to your shop on Sunset, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. That was over at Meltdown Comics. Yep.
There you go. Hey, what is the best Jack Kirby cover, in your opinion?
What is the best Jack Kirby cover?
In your opinion, yes. Here's mine. Boom, boom.
That's so funny. Is like, if you can, it's hard to see, but it's that same cover is right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Daredevil. What is it?
Daredevil number 43.
Yeah. So yeah, it was one of my favorites. But I'm such a huge fan of Jack Kirby. It would be hard to pick one specific, but that is definitely tip of the top because I was a big fan of Daredevil. From the earliest, my childhood memory, I was a big fan of Daredevil and Captain America, of course.
Oh yeah.
But I think, I really loved a lot of his Commandy covers. I was a big fan of
Commandy. I got a Commandy right there that you drew, the Commandy Challenge number 9.
Yeah. That's yeah, that was fun. That's so a lot of those were right in my wheelhouse back in those days. I was a big I was 12, 11, 12 years old and reading Commandy. It was I lived in a very small town in Maine, so I felt like I was the last boy on earth sometimes.
Yeah. It had a good story at the end because it was like Superman at the end. He was trying to get, it was cool.
Yeah, good stuff. So, but
Did you ever play any of the Turtle games? I'm running low on time.
Yeah. Oh, never was able to beat the first one. Loved the second one because it was the arcade version. Loved actually you play with your friends. And Turtles in Time was easier. I like that one as well. But I played them less as they got more complicated. It took me too much of a learning curve to get good at them, and I was suddenly I'm playing video games instead of doing my work. So I had to sort of make a decision to keep drawing as opposed to get better at video games.
Right.
Maybe when I'm retired, I'll go back there and learn them how to do them better.
Right. Well, thank you for blessing me with this. And there you have it, a nice short interview with Kevin Eastman. I was very respectable because he deserves all of the respect in the world. Thank you, Kevin Eastman, for everything.
We appreciate your support and all the fans. So we'll talk again, I'm sure.
Thank you, Mr. Eastman, and have a good rest of your day. All right.
You as well. I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Take care.
All right, you too. And that's been all on Talking with Dean. I'd like to thank Kevin Eastman once again. Dude, you just don't know. Anyway, see ya.